at least I'm vindicated by JJ Taani. I'm not the only one who's blind to the bigger issue behind all of these things of illegal immigration. There is more to it than just foreigners coming freely. There is more to it. And I'm glad JJ Taani once spoke about this years back, and many people don't remember. He was asked a question by the legendary great McG, and I'm gonna play a clip. You're gonna hear the full discussion, the full things he was saying. He was asked about Nhlanhla. What do you think about Operation Tutula and Nhlanhla and these things of them trying to chase foreigners? And he had a lot to say. And he even said some of the things I always say, that it's fine to deal with illegal immigrations until these organizations advocate for hatred. And then that's where it becomes a problem. It's just pure hate towards foreigners. But I want you guys to listen to what he had to say, and you'll make your own conclusions.
So what do you think of Operation Tutula?
Look, Nhlanhla is a nice chap, and he was on my show a few days ago, and I like his energy, right? And I think that it is misplaced on this issue of foreigners.
Okay.
Other than that, he's a great guy, and I think he'll take us somewhere. Right? If we had a proper Home Affairs department, we wouldn't need Operation Tutula, I suppose.
So you don't agree with it?
Because no, I don't, because it is a tendency, right, to create an anti-foreign sentiment, and we don't need that. You understand? The problems in this country, even if you took all the foreigners out, you'll still have 40% unemployment rate. It's not caused by foreigners.
But he asked you a question on your show I was watching, and you didn't answer it. He asked you if you live in a house, right?
Yeah.
And someone...
Yeah, because on my show I asked the questions.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't answer. My show. Anyway, what was the question?
He asked if someone jumps into your house, are you not going to call the cops and tell them there's an intruder? Or are you going to help them and say, how can I help you? That was the question. You never answered that.
Oh, I see. No, there's an electric fence in my house. They'll be choked before they get to my house. They mustn't try it. Yeah, I think that the analogy was wrong. Because what Victor was saying, Victor Commerson, Mr. Africa, the guy who, if you want to understand Africa, you must read his books.
Okay.
He was saying, when people cross over in a manner that's not required, and so instead of killing them or shooting them or chasing them out, legitimize them in a sense that educate people about the fact that there are procedures. Because people are running away from a war. Some of them don't come because it's fun, they are going to holiday in something. No. Some of them are being shot at by their own leaders. Right? They are being starved by the likes of Mugabe, may his soul not rest in peace at all, after destroying Zimbabwe. Right? And we hear leaders here, trying to glorify him and so on. The guy destroyed the economy of Zimbabwe. Was in power since 1980. Right? He was a vegetable by the time he left. Right? He was not a hero by the time. He was a hero to bring people of Zimbabwe to the promised land, but was not a hero in the time that he reigned there. Right? Yet he resulted in people queuing for steak and bread. In Zimbabwe, you think a steak here it's a given. When you walk into a spa or a Pick and Pay, you won't even be choosing between the packs. There you would be one steak, 4 people wanting it.
For real?
For real? You don't know this? Where do you live? You must read about Zimbabwe. The economy of Zimbabwe has collapsed. If 20 years ago you told the people of Zimbabwe that the economy there, the inflation there will be 1,000%, they would think you are crazy.
Do you think we're going to head that way?
Not really, no. Not when you and I can talk. We won't. So, yeah, the politicians just want citizens who are active. When they realize the citizens are asleep, they will steal until kingdom come. They're stealing now because we are too historically aligned when it comes to voting. So I want to vote for the ANC. I can't imagine even a person like Dr. Serote, who I respect very much, come to my show and say, if the ANC loses election, the country will collapse. I said, no, but Western Cape, the sun didn't dim. The sun still rising from the east in the Western Cape, and the ANC hasn't been in charge there for 10 years or more. So please don't give us that propaganda. This country will be fine, even if we in fact, it will be better if you get the ANC out.
What are you saying, sir?
I was saying, but I think when you say open the borders, it sounds ideal, but you just said that, for example, Zimbabwe, the economy has collapsed, right? So if you open the borders, don't you think people from, like in the region,
the borders
will
are porous
flock?
already. Which borders are you opening? The borders are porous. There are 4 million
But
people here.
if officially we open them,
Yeah.
Don't you think it will
But
cause a
officially
problem?
for who? The people who came across the border, did they wait for official to come through? They didn't wait for official. In fact, Malema said to them they must use every creative way to swim across the border. So it's not official. If Malema has spoken, I think people will listen better than anybody else. So please forget that. We're not going to open the borders officially because everybody wants to be a president of something. So they won't open the borders. Because if they open the borders and we have this so-called United States of Africa, then there will be one president instead of 50.
Exactly.
You just heard JJ Taani. I agree with the things he says. And I agree when he says the approach of these movements, these organizations, when it comes to trying to chase foreigners or trying to deal with this issue. It's like they take away all the processes that can make these issues be solved in a proper way, in a legal way. And they just throw all those processes aside and they take it to their own hands and advocate for hatred towards these foreigners because somehow they know they're not capable of chasing foreigners. So they are convince everyone to hate all of these foreigners. They know they're not in the power to change the laws of immigration for these foreigners to go, all of them. They are not capable of convincing people to understand the laws of immigration, to learn about the laws of immigration, to learn about the borders, to learn about home affairs, police. They're not convincing when they speak about that. But one thing they can do is manipulate people's emotions and make people hate foreigners. That's the problem. That's the problem with this movement. They start off, well, yeah, we want to deal with illegal immigration. Yeah, we want to deal with immigrants who sell drugs. Yeah, we want to deal with immigrants who don't abide by the law in their spazas. Until it's like they never even approach these spazas. They just go there, they loot. Until it's like they never even approach the drug dealers. They are scared. They just complain about it and make people hate Nigerians because they are scared to approach those Nigerians who sell drugs. Forgetting that not all the Nigerians sell drugs. Forgetting that not all foreigners are committing crime. Most of the foreigners, they are lecturers in universities. They are helping out in the economy. They forget all of that. They instigate hatred. They manipulate people's emotions. And that's what I don't agree. To make people, local South Africans, rage in anger and make it seem like these foreigners are the ones causing the situations of South African people. They will never blame politicians. They will never blame the government of the ANC for allowing this thing to happen. You know where they will go? They will go to the political party, which is not even in government, which is very far from being in government. It has 9%. It's very far from being in government. They would rather blame a 9% political party and convince South Africans it's this political party's fault. That's what I don't like about all of this. I don't like that. And that's why I will never support this movement, because it's not about fixing the issues. It's about hatred. It's all hate. But it is what it is. Thank you very much.